What's up? Episode 2. We're going to build the Audi. So tonight, not really sure what we're going to get done. The plan is to pull the bumper cover. We're starting with everything that's on the front of the engine. So if we make any progress, the goal is to pull the bumper cover, start looking at some of the radiator core support stuff. The ultimate goal is intercooler, radiator, water pump, intake, and everything else that's hard to reach that doesn't hurt things. Anyway. So we're going to get started, and we'll film as it comes. But yeah, first things first is going to be the bumper cover.
All right, let's do it.
Making good progress, looking a little bit more haggard, but bumper cover's on the ground. So bumper cover's on the ground. Car looks in a gajillion pieces, which is kind of to be expected. Yep. I mean, obviously, things are going to get a lot worse before they get a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
But so the windshield washer tank's out. We got all the horns out and stuff. So the next step is really going to be... I was just telling Raiden, probably going to try to look at pulling the fan and some other stuff like that. But this, unfortunately, is fairly boring, so I'm going to save you guys the effort of having to watch us pull this stack apart because there's only a billion tutorials on YouTube. This is more along the lines of how cool would it be whenever it has the big-ass, intercooler radiator in it. So anyway, we'll skip to that part, so see you then. Okay, guys, so it's another night. I'm making progress on it. Like I said, I'm trying not to show you guys too much of the boring stuff. But I wanted to point out something really quick that is actually super handy and probably a good reason to listen to the tutorials they have on YouTube, right? So check this out. So they say when you're draining coolant out of these cars that it's best to pull it from right here. There's a temperature sensor that goes into that hole right there, right? And you can modulate it based on how much or how little you open up the cap, but obviously a lot of it has already come out. But anyway, a genius way to do that, by the way, because if you don't drain it from right there, it is just the biggest pain you've ever felt in your entire life, right? So I can sit here and I can kind of burp it and get more and more to come out, and it is saving a massive mess on my floor. All right, gentlemen, you know what they say. It's important to celebrate the small wins. Small wins being that coolant is out of the car, and after that thing down there seized up on me and was being a huge pain, I was able to get a pry bar approximately here. Let's see if we here and be able to pry up on that radiator hose that's down in the bucket now. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job of showing you guys. But anyway, I was able to get that thing out. So important to celebrate the little wins, and we're going to press on and see what else we can get knocked out tonight. Here we go. I am proud to say we are so up. Everything is going super well. So before we have an inevitable crash, here's what is going really well. So all of these bolts on the bottom side are loose, right? The horn is now completely ready to go. Everything is disconnected up top here. Everything from the headlight is all disconnected. All of the radiator hoses, all the intercooler boost pipes are all off and ready to go. So you can see that if I shake this, right, so if I shake the support here, I'm going to zoom out here. If I shake the support here, literally the whole thing is ready to move. So what that means for us is that all we need to do is pull the rest of these bolts, and then this whole thing will come off as a big fat assembly, which is rad, right? There's a couple things that we can do to make our lives a little bit more easy, especially because we know what we're doing, right? So first things first is I got to pull these clips. These are infamously awful. They're these big, I'm going to call it an alligator clip that holds the intercooler, the radiator, and the AC condenser all together, and they're just a huge pain in the butt to do. I have fully budgeted to just flat break these. I bought new ones, so I'm not planning on replacing them, but the last time I did an intercooler stack, they were just the worst. So we're gonna see how those go. Now, keeping in mind that we do plan on doing the intake to replace it for the multi-port fuel injection, as well as the water pump, to do the water pump and all the other fun jazz associated with that, all of this has got to come off, right? You practically have to get the car into the same position that you would put it in to do a carbon clean, right? So the plan is that since we're now in Audi service position, which means that you have enough room to stick your hand in here without dicing it into a gajillion little pieces. Now that we're in service mode, we can actually reach everything to do this job, right? Now, when we pull off these bolts on here and then these bolts over here, yeah, this whole thing is going to swing open like a door, right? The only thing is holding it on now, and I don't know if I can really highlight it, but there's some AC condenser lines down there. So this whole thing's going to open up like a swing door. But I figured before we get there, since we have so much room, we'll go ahead and pull the intake and see how much we can do. So the plan will be is that pretty much at the same time that we replace the water pump will be the same time that we do the intercooler stack, just to save time. So making great progress. Let's see what we can get done. I'm going to go ahead and start dressing this top side and start working on these alligator clips on the outside of the bumper here. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. So we made lots of progress on the car, but unfortunately we need some additional tools, which means it's time to go to Mecca of the Harbor Freight. So we got to get in here and get some tools so we can pull off the intake, because apparently my 1/4-inch extensions have disappeared. But anyway, we'll get there. Here we go. Okay, so great news. We have help tonight, which is awesome. So Kevin is here. Kevin is assisting. We're going to try to get this intake off and all the other fun stuff. Got the tools from Harbor Freight. Everything's good to go. So the intake is all loose. The dog bone thing is out. Everything is disconnected. All the wiring is off. Everything minus the high pressure fuel line. I think we can get it out without it. I've been able to get the intake off without the high pressure fuel line a couple times. So we're going to see what this looks like, and then shortly have a quick look at the valves. So here we go. All right, so we're going to see if we can squeeze the intake out here. If this doesn't work perfectly in the first time, don't blame me. So I'm going to try to pull it down here on the... There we go, sweet. Intake pipe is off. All right, so that's separated. Now we just got to sneak it around there, and we are good to go. So we're connected to something, or maybe we're not. Maybe I'm just tripping. Oh, yeah, sure enough. Okay, so one of these plugs down here is caught up, which is not the end of the world. We just got to feed it back through, and then you can say sayonara to our intake. So intake is free. I'm gonna pull this little tube right here. This is just a vacuum reference tube, and then a sensor I forgot to get, so let's pull that off. Done. And then there is your intake. It's a little oily. All right, cool. Alrighty, we're reminiscing about Dave's Beetle here, and you guys will ultimately always see this thing in the background. But what's our milestone, Dave?
I'm about 5 miles away from 200,000.
5 miles away from 200,000 miles. Dave, what's the quick story on the Beetle?
2017, 1.8 liter.
IS-20.
No, it's not IS-12.
IS-12. Baby snail.
Baby snail. Ground pounded, just beat to 11 hell. Ex-rental car beaten harder than anybody who ever rented it.
Which is saying something.
Factory timing chain, oil changes, 10,000 miles.
Oh man, how much racing have you done with it?
2 open track days. I think we settled on what was it, six autocross seasons.
Yeah, 6 autocross seasons.
The last one, slush? Or not
Slush box, yeah, slush box automatic.
He was talking about Slush Autosports.
No. When was the last time you took this out? Was the AMP, right? The track day?
Yeah, the open track day.
Yeah,
the open
same.
track day. I roasted the rest of my race tire.
It's just that simple. Put a race tire on your rental Beetle and go have fun. All right.
Coilovers, big sway bar, downpipe, intake.
It's all the fun
Thing's
shit.
riot.
Cool. Okay, so shockingly, and it seems like this might be consistent by the time we get to the end of the night, we're looking pretty haggard. Now, we do have good progress to share, but tonight we have been defeated by the car, and that's okay, because we're going to come back stronger. So let's take a quick look and see what's gotten done, right? So, some exciting news, right? Big one being that the water pump impeller is off. Right, all of this stuff got disconnected. Like we were just talking about in the last clip, you can see that we're ready to take a look at the valves. Another big one is that these clips are now out. That means that as we release these last couple bolts, this whole thing will pull apart. Now, what has defeated us? What has been the real challenge? If you look in here, let me just make sure that you guys can see it. You can see the belt that drives the water pump, and you can see the little gear on the other side that that attaches to. Now, I have a new belt, and I'd like to replace it. But fun fact, that bolt down there next to the little green plug, I'm gonna right there. Anyway, that bolt down there either takes a specialized tool or you need to make a blood sacrifice, and I don't have enough blood to do that, so I don't have the special tool. We've been trying along with regular 12 mils, and it's just not going to fit. So we're going to go get a crow's foot tomorrow. We'll make another Harbor Freight shop and then come back and pull that thing off with gusto. And once that happens, then we will have our belt out. We can start to replace this water impeller and hopefully succeed. Boys, I have great news. This is a Harbor Freight $250 swivel head ratchet end wrench, and it worked fabulously on removing that damn ugly bolt. Let me show you. Behold, the root of all evil, this damn bolt. You can see the edges were starting to round, which was giving me great anxiety, not gonna lie, right? Anyway, but it's off. Everything is good, which is fantastic. So now we can start to tear back into getting that belt put on. We're going to get this all cleaned up and then start getting it going. So let's go. All right. So I was putting on that little bolt with that little gear, and I realized that this is a special moment, at least for phase one. This is the first new part going onto the car since we've brutally decimated it and pulled it into 1,000 pieces. So first new bolt is on, first new belt is on. We're going to do the new metal impeller on the water pump and go from there. So let's see it. So you know what this means? This is a torque wrench that has been used, which means that this is done. So we've got the new water pump and the cover and everything back on. This is all good to go. That is the very first phase of what we're doing. So that is that for this. Now the next step is going to be getting the stack off. Stack's going to come off. Intercooler, radiator going to go in. I think we're going to try to clean up the condenser. So tons of content in this one, right? We saw the highs, we saw the lows. I'm really confident about the rest of the build from this point forward. I think most things are going to go smoothly. The only thing I hadn't done is that water pump done. So everything else should be hopefully simple. Of course, you guys are going to laugh whenever I mess it up, but in the meantime, I think that's where we're going to call it. Big thanks to Raiden and Kevin. They helped me quite a bit in this episode. And, of course, this episode was multiple nights, probably like 5 or 6 nights of small little progress, you know, hitting speed bumps and overcoming and getting better, right? So, anyway, if you like the content, please subscribe to Low Altitude Motorsports YouTube channel. Of course, the channel is linked here as well as the last episode. I really appreciate you guys watching and hopefully being interested in the content that we're putting out. So we'll see you next time. Thanks.